Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? Surprise! Hey Fred, how you going? Hey Tiki Doll from Colorado, how you going? And Carl, how you going? Okay, how you going guys? Doing good? I hope so. Okay, let's get the screen happening because there's a bit going on today. I want to first start by thanking Sherry for buying me coffees, and from what I've heard, the FBI might be on their way to deliver the information about Joe Biden that they were supposed to ages ago, and I believe they're on their way there. Not 100% sure. Where is it? FBI caves and agrees to deliver FD1023 to Congress. So that was from Robert Gavea. Now we're going to go from like Australia to Canada, New Zealand, to the UK, to the US, to Haiti, okay, Clinton. Okay, we're going to go all over the place today. Craig Kelly said if garlic works for colds and flu, good chance it will work for this thing. Back in 2011, we had a peer-reviewed, randomised, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, which is how you're supposed to do it, not just a certain amount of people and that's it, and no peer-reviewed, double-blind, random tests, that found garlic reduced the severity of cold and flu symptoms. I've got to eat more garlic. Okay, yet our corrupted health bureaucrats say nothing about garlic and push the other things instead. If garlic can reduce the number of work school days missed by 58%, why aren't employers forcing garlic mandates? What's the cost of the lost productivity to the nation each winter with people off work because Big Pharma and their stooges suppress the fact that garlic works? And if garlic is that effective against colds and flu, you'd think there's a good chance it would also work for other things, you know, that are like colds and flu. Or at least it's worth a try. No wonder the vested interests are enlisting their army of useful idiots and low information voters to mock garlic supplements and claim they don't work. So that study was real. And I thought it was a joke, but it was real. It enhances immune cell function. Garlic. Rosita Diaz said this is how it works. Food for thought. If you earn $100 and pay $33 income tax, you're left with $67. You then buy $67 worth of fuel and in doing so pay a 48% fuel tax fuel tax equals $32.16 plus $6.70 GST, that means the government just got $71.86 tax from your hard-earned $100. Share this, let's see how much attention this post can get. Okay, so out of the $67 worth of fuel you buy, 32, half of it nearly, well, over half plus the GST. Take a deep breath. That's a big hit. The Gateway pundit said they have spare rooms. New York City Mayor Eric Adams wants to house illegal aliens in private residence. Okay, so this is, wasn't this threatened in Europe? Oh dear God. So if you've got an empty room in your house, you might have to house illegal aliens. No, they'll try a volunteer system first, I think, and then they'll see that nobody really wants to do that, so then they'll force it. Benny Johnson said breaking House Oversight Chair James Comer confirms FD 1023 form proves Biden criminal bribery scheme after viewing it. Announces contempt of Congress hearings for FBI Director Wray this Thursday. What's the bet? Ray's going to come out at the last moment and say something? I don't know. That's just what I think. Ariel said Charlie Ward. Remember him? People, do we have to do this again? Because it's redundant at this point. Is it necessary at this stage? Should I just allow the sheep to be led to disappointment? How many times do we have to do this? Charlie worked directly under Jimmy Savile. I didn't know that. Don't trust this man. Seriously. He was he said to people he was ex-CIA as well. Did you know that Charlie Ward was called out by 2 sexual abuse survivors during a live interview? They remember him flying on one of the planes with Jimmy Savile. Charlie Ward procured the underage girls for Savile. Charlie even blames them for being abused by him. This is apparently... Did you know Charlie Ward spoke at Clay Clark Conference in Orlando? Do you see how connected this is? Who else is involved with Clay Clark? George Farmer, whose father is a member of the House of Lords, who have bases in Ukraine. And there's a video here of Charlie Ward basically incriminating himself. A child sex trafficking victim, Sabrina remembers Charlie Ward in this video. I will say this one more time. He worked directly under Jimmy Savile. He was the bag boy for a pedo. Why do you think he has nothing negative to say about Jimmy? Charlie Ward interviewed an SRA survivor and she actually called him out, saying she saw him while she was getting trafficked. This was a year ago. And then Charlie admitted in a show that he used to bring girls onto the show, Top of the Pops, for Jimmy Savile. Think. Don't trust this man. Josie Moniz said, this is the biggest tire cemetery in the world in Kuwait. This fire is always on and can be seen from outer space, but Irish cows are responsible for climate change. That is poison. Burning rubber, isn't it? Look at that. It's always on fire, apparently. Can't be good for the people. Hopefully there's no one living near it. Malcolm Roberts said the same UN climate fraudsters forecast 50 million climate refugees by 2005 due to projected sea level rises. Actual number by 2005, 0. Actual number today, 0. Thank you, Klimza for meme. The UN predicts disaster if global warming is not checked. June the 29th, 1989. Okay, says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000. Well, we are now in 2023. And Sydney still sits at the same levels. Parts of the US I've seen, they sit at the same levels. They've got comparison photos from 100 years ago to now. Same level. Stephen said, and all these politicians building mansions near water or buying mansions near water. Really, if it was going to go under, and do you think councils would still, and banks would still approve loans on something they can't claim back if it all goes heads up? They're not going to do that. Stephen said, selfish grifters. Brittany Higgins. This is our Kavanaugh lady, right? What was her name? I can't even remember her name anymore. Like the lady who accused Brett Kavanaugh of assault. Well, this is ours in Australia, right? Fake one, a real fake one. And she got $3 million, okay, from the Australian people for her grift. Brittany Higgins. And Lisa Wilkinson is one of the TV presenters, and I don't even know who Gallagher is, but anyway, have done such a disservice to all future grape victims that every woman and anyone with a daughter should be furious. The only way forward is for all three to be criminally charged for fraud, because wait till you see what... I've got more on that in a minute. What's going on? There's a video of her the night she says she was raped, and she was so drunk she couldn't have consented, and she's running through the halls, and she looks pretty capable. Bogan Zen said it's all in the eyes. Street people know body language and eyes. There was no definitive no to the question either. The answer was clear as to any savvy individual. The refusal to view the damning evidence was the icing. This just got sticky. Plibisek, whose husband is a drug dealer, responds to Lerman, that's our Kavanaugh, interview, okay? She's been named in Lisa Wilkinson's, what? Tapes with Brittany Higgins. Tanya Plibisek responds after being named in Lisa Wilkins' tapes with Brittany Higgins, may even raise concerns in Parliament, because she is apparently one of our parliamentarians whose husband is a convicted drug dealer, okay? Wow. Ultra MJ Truth said it's just too weird and sad. The plane that flew over DC that crashed in Virginia yesterday had a prominent Trump and NRA donor's family on board, John Rumpel. Rumpel lost his daughter, Adina Azarian, 2-year-old granddaughter, and nanny. Oddly enough, Rummel had lost another daughter in a scuba diving accident when she was 19 years back. Which was 19 years back, or when she was 19 years old? I don't know. The jet was owned by Encore Motors of Melbourne, Florida, which Rumpel and his wife own. They say the pilot appeared unresponsive and the plane was operating on autopilot. Something doesn't sound right. Okay, so there's questions about that. Being intercepted by F-16s over DC. Flame said, oh, look, only took me a minute to find out that her hubby is Glenn Davis, Secretary of the Department of PM and Cabinet, appointed by Albanese, no less. It's all integrated and corrupt, all of it. Daniel Andrews said, I'm honoured to announce that Professor Margaret Gardner will be the 30th Governor of Victoria. She didn't even apply for the job. Professor Gardner will be the second woman to hold the role after the Honourable Linda Dessau, whose term will wrap up on Friday, the 30th of June, 2023. Oh, dear God. It's one of his mates he's put in. I didn't like his one, did I? No, good. Whew. I don't want to like Daniel Andrews' bloody post. Liz Churchill said the demons at the World Economic Forum are demanding that farms be shut down to fight their fraudulent scheme of climate change, which they state leads to starvation. So apparently it's the climate change fairy causing starvation, not the forced closing of farms. Okay? So that's how it is, apparently. Oh, this is ridiculous. I don't see how people still buy the climate change thing. Climate changes all the time. It's the environment we want to look after, and that's mostly these rich people killing it and raping it and all sorts of things. Graham Allen said, it doesn't have an M on the end. This 5th grade teacher bought the fire against transgender activists. You're just making it up. Now listen to this.
Transgender boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons, if they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of
They're
people
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man. You can pretend to be a man, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Live your life and tell me what a man is.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the...
She couldn't answer that question, so she asked him the question. It's a trick a lot of them do. Answer a question with a question to avoid answering the question.
The science of this, as an example, when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely different.
They are completely different.
Completely different words.
Sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up. The people who hate the truth, are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion. You disagree, I disagree with you, and so you call it hate. But there's no hate in my heart at all, so that's
You
wrong.
are being hateful when you tell somebody that identifies as a man that they're not a man.
That's not hateful. That's a fact.
Oh dear, they're scared of the truth now. It's hateful. Hateful. The truth is hateful. The truth doesn't care about your feelings, and feelings don't care about the truth. And they're all up in their feelings, so they don't care about the truth, while the rest of us do. Prue McSween said banks say they are closing branches in regional and city areas, which they've already done all over up here. Okay, they've closed the bank. I can't go to a bank unless I travel quite an hour or so. Oh, well, who knows now? They might have closed those ones too. Anyway, because people have changed their banking habits. This is how duplicitous they are. We've been forced to change to online because it's hard to find a bank or ATM anywhere. And if you do find an understaffed branch, you face a 40-minute wait in a queue. Yet they continue to charge us outrageous service fees and fail to pass on interest rate hikes to savers. This is why they are bastards. Simple and plain. They are bastards. Banks are... Okay, there used to be a comedy show in Australia called The Comedy Company. I think it was The Comedy Company or Fast Forward or Full Frontal, one of them. And they had a skit on called Bastards Incorporated, right? And it was like toilet paper that doesn't rip, right? Things like that. You just like got to use the whole roll because the thing won't rip. That's pretty much the bankers, the government. Have I landed on something? I thought I heard something beep then. Might have been just me hearing things. But there you go. Yeah, they're all the politicians, the bankers. Tanya Tay Pasovic said Target sells Pride merch for kids. Mike Lindell sells children's Bible pillows. I'd rather buy a Bible pillow all day long. They're nice. Look at how colourful they are. Oh, definitely want to get one of them. Snarkish Dano said, since when has that been behind the White House in DC? What is going on here? What is it? Looks like a stadium nearly. No, I don't know. Hard to tell what it is, but I don't think it belongs there. That's how you know it's all theatre. It's a stage. The world's a stage. DC Drano said breaking FBI concerned their informant on Biden bribery corruption will be killed if name made public. The FBI is not only confirming the bribery evidence is real, but that the Biden crime family may murder people trying to expose them. We live in a third world dictatorship. I told you last video, there's a new term called Biden-sided now. I just made it up. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, I don't know if other people have stated it, but as far as I know, I'm the only one saying Biden-sided now. Just left meeting for a House oversight. The FBI is afraid their informant will be killed if unmasked based on the info he's brought forward about the Biden family. So there you go. Biden side. It rings good. It sounds good. Baron of Burleigh said not one full blood amongst them all. There's not. I did show you in a previous video what an actual Aboriginal looks like. Much darker, I'll tell you that much. Joey Manorino said Biden will be 81 years old in November, too old to pilot a commercial jet, too old to drive a bus, too old to teach in the public school system, but not too old to run the country. I visited a few former teachers who are suffering with Alzheimer's, so I know exactly what it looks like. It looks like Joe Biden falling 5 times on camera. It looks like Joe Biden wandering around on stage after speaking. It looks like Joe Biden not knowing the difference between his sister and his wife. It looks like Joe Biden forgetting that he's the president, not Kamala. And for these and so many other reasons, he must not only be denied a second term, he must be impeached today. Well, after all the evidence that we see, he should be. Okay, I put this one in again. I don't trust David Icke, but King Right Charlie makes Ardern a dame for services to the cult. Did she? Did he? Did she? Did he? He? She? It? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. Voice for Victoria said, ha ha ha, what's going on here? They cherry-picked an unenthusiastic, staunch Republican who didn't even apply for the job a few weeks ago, who also happens to be married to the Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. Some real swampy vibes going on with this one, and this is the lady who apparently didn't apply for the job, the Monash University Vice-Chancellor. She said she's a Republican. Don't believe her. Don't believe her. But it looks like, you know, it's who you know. Travis said, just in, Christina Lusk, a transgender inmate who was convicted of felony drug charges in 2018, won a settlement in Minnesota and will be transferred to a women's prison. Receive a $500,000 payment, and the DOC will provide gender-affirming surgery. Lusk changed his name and pronouns in 2018, the same year he was arrested. Minnesota is now one of 11 states that transfers inmates based on their gender identity. Does that look like a woman to you? Oh dear. Okay, if you're in the state of Minnesota, I don't know, I'd probably be emailing the people, Congress, but the important people, apparently, who aren't really important, as we see. They're no better than any of us. Drug dealer husbands, and I don't even have a drug dealer husband or boyfriend. Oh dear. Chicago One Ray, can't make this shit up. They can't find anyone who wants to be a cop in Chicago, so they're passing a bill that allows illegals who broke the law to come here to apply to be cops. Last week, Southside residents were peeved that illegals are getting treated better than they are. What's going to happen when these same illegals start arresting these residents? Pass the popcorn. Oh dear. Okay, Julie Donuts, I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to let you know what it's about. Do not get this thing here, okay? If you've got the big C, don't get that. Don't. These effers are so evil. I'm so angry at how many people have died at the hands of this disgusting medical industry. They have killed millions of people by hiding cures and issuing these super expensive treatments. They are liars and deceivers. Can't wait till they are gone. Honestly, do not go for this, okay? Don't ever. And try and tell people who have it not to get this. Look, I was told by a doctor, no, my friend was told by a doctor who told me that she spoke to the doctor because her father had cancer. And he said I would never get chemo or radiotherapy. So, he said I'd go and naturally try and heal. Go to thetruthaboutbigc.com, so much info and other things. Okay, so they get paid for it. Doctors get paid every time someone goes on this thing here. They get bonuses, okay? Same thing they do with a lot of their, I don't know if you've ever noticed, and I've said this before as well, but when I was very sick and I was going to the doctors a lot, there were people in suits with little briefcases who'd turn up and go in before anyone else. They straight away to the receptionist and straight in to see a doctor. And you're sitting there thinking there's sick people here, and this person who looks perfectly healthy, in fact, looks like a pharmaceutical rep, just went in and took the doctor's time for about 15, 20, 30 minutes. because they're offering doctors incentives to push certain things. Okay? That's what they do. They get dinners, they get holidays, they get money. Stuart Peters says Barack doesn't have children, and he definitely didn't have them with Michelle. Martin Nesbitt and Anita Blanchard are Sasha and Malia's Obama's real parents. Nesbitt is also the chairman of the Obama Foundation. Now, okay, for the people the other day, these are the children. Okay, there's Barack, obviously, and Michelle. Do they really look like them, right? Well, this is Barack's friends, and I believe these children are closer to these people. Look at the mouths, all of them, the eyes. I don't think they came from Michelle and Barack, Michael and Barack. John Q said, I've mentioned this UN treaty grift before. The voice is just smoke and mirror sting. You've been warned. Wake up. Okay, now this is for Canadians, New Zealanders, US, England, everyone, okay? I don't know, England doesn't have a First Nations people. Oh, wait a minute. They do. They just happen to be white. Okay. Australia and our Australian democratic freedoms are in sight of a cunning global predator. Foreign vultures silently circle our great southern land, casting ominous shadows upon the unwitting population below. Okay, examining the globalist conspiracy to use the Indigenous as a land grab. In our collective unawares, they keenly await their calculated moment to swoop and strip tear the fat out of our land. The voice referendum is why they circle. A yes vote will signal their frenzied descent with razor beak. These vultures operate behind the seemingly noble front of the United Nations, and they are truly the transnational globalists that have strategized to exploit the Australian Aboriginal as a cover to carve up and consume our Australian land. They are ravenous and they are coming for our farms. They are scheming for at least 70% of all land by 2030. They believe you will be happy to own nothing because you'll have no choice. So be happy or else, right? Or else. Globally, the United Nations are currently puppeteering their regional figureheads to recognise native titles, treaties, and, in Australia's instance, a constitutionally enshrined voice to Parliament. However, it's all a grand deception to seize our vast natural resources and land. Agricultural lands, forests, oceans, coastlines, nature reserves, metals, lithium, minerals, uranium and waterways. Indeed, such humanitarian policies are not motivated by any sincere endeavour to address the plight of the Indigenous. All that has been propagandised and presented beneath the banners of virtue and atonement will only benefit a shadowy cabal of oligarchical billionaires. Canadian, US and New Zealand territory is similarly being targeted by the globalists, and our prime puppet, the mush-minded Albanese, has had his strings impatiently yanked to ratify their agenda at the expense of our sovereign nation. We cannot permit this. This will be the end of Australia. We must not allow them to cut our collective tongues to gift themselves the voice. We must speak out, but we must also be aware of what needs to be spoken to awaken Australians to the devious agenda. We must unite and unify in our opposition, exercise discernment, disengage with the government-funded media trickery. That was a bit to get my mouth around. And rationally articulate why we must vote no. What follows is an attempt to define the key aspects of the voice deception, how the globalists have orchestrated every aspect, and how they hope to achieve their stupendous land grab of our country. And this is Josephine Cashman, who's an Aboriginal whistleblower. I've been following him for a few years on Twitter. She's an Aboriginal lawyer, acclaimed prosecutor, entrepreneur, and former member of the Prime Minister's Indigenous Advisory Council, appointed by Tony Abbott in 2013. Pertinently, while occupying the Indigenous Advisory Council, Cashman discovered a plot by the United Nations to use the decoy of Aboriginal and Indigenous rights to asset strip Australia and to remove all private land ownership. And Josephine Cashman has a Cashman Substack. The document Cashman discovered obtained a direct reference to using the Indigenous as the fulcrum to establish a new world order. Indigenous people may, in this emerging world order, provide the necessary fulcrum on which the global futures balance. She's a whistleblower, undeniably authentic and credentialed, truly the foremost voice on this subject. She has devoted countless hours to researching and exposing the fake Aboriginal leaders advancing this insidious objective on behalf of the globalists. Of course, someone's got to start chainsaw or whippersnipping or something. Cashman describes the Uluru Statement from the Heart as a momentous fraud and abomination against Australia. She claims that despite the heartwarming propaganda and virtuous rhetoric, the Uluru Statement does not represent the agenda of people living in Aboriginal communities, but rather is the product of just 5 traitorous, phony Aboriginals. Lowitja O'Donoghue, Noel Pearson, Sol Bellier, Marsha Langdon and David Ross in direct consultation with the United Nations and their Agenda 2030. It is fundamentally a diabolical fraud that is intended for diabolical ends to facilitate the voice and usher in a treaty of forced land acquisition guided by native title demarcations. On September 25th, 2015, the UN member states adopted and launched the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and is being implemented in Australia by local governments, which means your councils. Okay. So there you go. So that's for, you know, even Canada, New Zealand, the US. Yep. Woke is broke, vote no. She's been hard on the drugs so her memory wouldn't be all that great. Now this is Plibisek. What is it with Labor politicians and their memory, says Jeff? Miss Plibisek, who at the time was a senior opposition frontbencher, said she did not recall if the former political staffer had spoken to her about firing up specific questions during question time. She's corrupt as, I'm telling you. Alexandra Marshall said, you know your country's in trouble when the government leaves its citizens on the street while putting illegal immigrants in 5-star hotels. This is indefensible. This is what's happening now in Australia. It's been happening in the UK for a few years. It's happening now in Australia. Probably happening around the world. Okay, Peter said Bruce Lerman, the guy who was our Kavanaugh, breaks his silence in first televised interview on Channel 7 Spotlight. Higgins needs to pay back our money, which is taxpayers' money, and Wilkinson should be fined and her logie taken back along with a public apology to Lerman. Okay, so there is video of her. I'll show you in a minute. Nicole said, damning. Daniel said, the video of me going through that footage, I had to take off my high heels. This is what the girl said, Brittany Higgins, the one who accused the guy of attacking her. She said, the video of me going through that footage, I had to take off my high heels or something, and I was stumbling all over the place like I wasn't capable of really walking through the security system, even myself. This is Brittany Higgins, right? This is her. Okay?
Out drunk. And I know that the CCTV footage shows that.
The video of me going through that footage, I had to take off my high heels or something, and I was stumbling all over the place. Like I wasn't capable of really even walking through the security system, even myself.
Really?
Able to make decisions.
Really?
You know.
Really? She couldn't walk through the security, she ran through it. What a phony, what a fake, and $3 million from the Australian taxpayers. And yes, Lisa Wilkins,
Not
Wilkins, whatever her name is, I can't remember anymore because don't pay attention to her. She should be fired, and yes, her logie, which is like an award for TV presenters and BS, you know, where they fluff each other up all the time. They say, you're great, you're fantastic, oh my God. John Shuchuk said your 1.5 degree reference is as trivial as humans thrived when our climate was much warmer. Study your history. More importantly, without CO2, we all die. Because you got no CO2, you got no food. What feeds the trees? CO2 takes it. Trees take in CO2 and give us oxygen. How about we plant more trees instead of trying to take CO2 out of the air? Oh my God. And what's this? Hang on. Do you know that about 1.5 after COP27 is worse than before? COP27? Okay, well, there you go, anyway. Latimer Alder said, remember the Maldives were going to be drowned by now? Here's their new main airport building to handle 7,500,000 rich high-spending visitors a year. Does not appear to be underwater to me. Hypocrites. And NASA satellites continuously measure worldwide sea level. They say it's rising at 1 foot per century, 3.4 millimetres a year. Millimetres? That's more than... It's about a foot, isn't it? It's not 3.4 millimetres. That's like 10 to 15, nearly 20 centimetres. Here's what a foot looks like, just over 3 house bricks deep. There you go. I can't persuade myself that it'll bring an end to humanity by 2123, as the alarmists tell us. That's a foot. There you go. I was about right, trying to measure with my hands, God knows. But there you go. So, where's the sea level rise? And as I said, I've seen pictures of Sydney Harbour and the US and other places where the sea level is exactly the same in 100 years. Hasn't changed. Ben Fordham Live said exclusive. We've got exclusive news about The Voice. This comes as the latest poll confirms the Yes campaign is in trouble. Good. Country divided. Australia split over The Voice. Well, if we didn't have propaganda coming at us from all sides, well, you know. Yeah, I know you know. Miss S 2022 said the pleb is married to a convicted drug dealer. Plebisec. Clearly she has no moral compass. There you go. Incompetent mean girls. Plebiscite has always been dodgy and a glib. And a gronk. Don Lucre, breaker of narratives. He's bringing out some pretty good threads right now. Hillary Clinton should never be around black people again after what she did to Haiti. And she shouldn't. Don Lucre said what was George Soros doing in Haiti with Hillary Clinton on November the 21st, 1998. What was going on there? Picking children? I hope not. There's a thread. Is there a thread? Although Liberals are saying I steal other people's work, they forget they cry for sources, but I'm going to start providing exclusives like this in the Russia Hunter Biden coverage and Tiffany Epps, Ray Epps' daughter, so they can make new excuses. We are the media now. Well done, mate. Well done. Jeremy Wayne Tate said the most egregious achievement gap in American education is the gap between black homeschoolers and black public school students. Black homeschoolers outperform black public school students by more than 40 percentage points across standardised tests. There you go. If you're homeschooling, you're doing it right. Government schools are where black kids are forced to go learn absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, that's what it's looking like. The schools make them dumber. It's not helping them. Not make them dumber. You know what I mean. If you homeschool, your kids are going to be smarter. Dom Lucre said, why did Jeffrey Epstein go to Africa with Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker on his jet in September 2nd, 2002? Did he? Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker claim up with Clinton to fight AIDS in Africa. Where is Epstein in there? Secretary Powell said, well, thank you for joining me on this rather quick trip over and back. I think it'll be an interesting and exciting trip, and it's certainly an important one. We have a very powerful delegation already there, and they've been doing terrific work under the leadership of Undersecretary of State Paula Dobransky, as well as Andrew Natsois, who's been there, and now he's with us going back over on some other side trips with a representation from Inaudible and of the other agencies. Chris Todd Whitman is there now. Where did the Epstein thing come from? Is there more? There might be. Sources: Chris Tucker press briefing, Daily Journal, Actor comic president visit Africa. Where's Epstein mentioned? Or maybe he's just encouraging people like he does to the left. Maybe he's encouraging people to read by sticking Epstein's name in there. On his first trip to Africa, Spacey despaired at the ravages caused by AIDS and the difficulty of getting people in the United States to pay attention. Well, you know, they developed that. Ask Bill Gates. I think this was a plan to go in and shop. Shop for people. For kids. Laura Silsby, anyone? My mouse just won't work. Okay. Tim Kelly asked, why are you obsessed with this? Are you hurt because they didn't invite you? Oh, Tim Kelly, you poor, poor, poor sucker. Who doesn't understand? Dom Lecrae again said how the Clintons were involved with the 33 Haitian children that were almost kidnapped by 10 missionaries, including Laura Silsby. Apparently not her first attempt. CNN reported on Friday, February the 9th, 2010, this was not the first time Silsby had attempted to traffic children out of Haiti. Haitian police acting on a tip had intercepted Silsby on an earlier separate attempt to remove 40 children out of the country. She was turned back at the Haitian border for a brief period. Haitian authorities were considering adding a new kidnapping charge based on this evidence. Hillary and Bill Clinton took an extraordinary interest in Silsby's case from the moment she was arrested and almost immediately stepped in on her behalf. The Harvard Human Rights Journal stated that one of Bill Clinton's first acts as Special Envoy for the United Nations in Haiti was to put out the fire of a child abduction scandal involving American citizens. On February 7th, 2010, the Sunday Times reported that Bill Clinton had intervened to strike a deal with the Haitian government, securing the release of all co-conspirators except for Silsby. Prosecutors ultimately sought a 6-month sentence in Silsby's case, reducing charges for conspiracy and child abduction to mere arranging irregular travel. A shockingly light penalty given the circumstances of her arrest, which would likely not have been impossible but for the intervention of the Clintons in Silsby's case. And New Life Children's Refuge case. New Life Children's Refuge case was a legal case about an incident which occurred in the chaotic aftermath of, this is Wikipedia trying to speak about it. Border with 33 Haitian children, most of whom were not orphans and had families. The group known, oh wow, that's amazing for WikiLeaks to put that one in. Most of whom were not orphans and had families. The group known as the New Life Children's Refuge did not have proper authorization for transporting the children and were arrested on kidnapping charges. The missionaries denied any wrongdoing, claimed they were rescuing orphans and leading them to a Dominican hotel, which was being transferred into an orphanage, thanks in part to intervention on their behalf by former US President Bill Clinton. 9 of the 10 missionaries were later released, but NLCR founder Laura Silsby remained incarcerated in Haiti. By the time she went on trial, on May the 13th, the charges have been reduced to arranging irregular travel. What do you know? Isn't there another bit of this? Same thing. Okay. On February 20th, 1939, a Nazi rally took place at Madison Square Garden, organised by the German-American Bund. Many of them never left and they identify as liberals now. There you go. Shocking. Don Lecrae again said what happened to the 5 men and 5 women in Haiti that were caught with 33 children as they were trying to reach the Dominican Republic without proper documentation. And why did the Clinton Foundation leave the day after? Poor kids. Okay. Dom Lecrae said these 2 patriots triggered so many liberals yesterday that I'll post them again. Conservatives are the only group where you could find people that look like them and people that look like me in the same room with the president. We don't judge, our love wins. Ready? These 2 are actually quite funny. Well, I've got to turn the music down, sorry guys. Okay, ready for it? Here they go. Oh, good on them. Yep, go love. You do it. You do you. Well done. Oh, God. God love them. And the little dog's getting involved as well. Go, guys. Lovely. Lovely to see. Dom Lecrae said ex-Biden's nuclear official Sam Brinton was arrested for yet another baggage theft. How many is that now? Is that 3 or 4? He should go shoplifting in Dubai, but I don't know if he'll be able to touch his dog again if he gets caught. Oh dear. This is him with his dog. What is wrong with people? Seriously, I've got a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, my candle's gone out too. Okay, something else weird going on in the White House. Stu Peters asked when was this treehouse built outside the Oval Office? Because apparently, are we sure it's not a birdhouse? Playing devil's advocate here. But it does look like a treehouse. It's a bit big for a birdhouse. They have to be pretty big birds. Oh dear. Right, you little candle, you keep my cuppa hot. Okay. Look, flashy screen. So what do you think? See, this is why we're watching a movie. This is all staged. Salty JT. Oh, I put this in. Okay, this is not for you guys or me. Oh, well, it is for me. It's Dean Koontz books that I haven't read. There's a lot of them I haven't read. I haven't read them since the 90s. Okay. Check out The Whispering Room, The Silent Corner, The Forbidden Door, and The Cooked Staircase. And this was in response to someone, remember the Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz in 1981. He wrote a book called The Eyes of Darkness, which refers to a bacteriological weapon called Wuhan 400, which I remember being the Gorky or the Gorski 400 or 4000. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if anything's changed or my memory is absolutely screwed, but yeah. Now this guy is saying, check out The Whispering Room, The Silent Corner, The Forbidden Door. And look, any Dean Koontz book, honestly, they are very interesting to read. Really, really interesting. They talk about one of them, Midnight, and Watchers, actually, 2 of them, talk about combining animal, human DNA, making creatures, things like that, and what people turn into. And some people just grow wires out of their fingers and connect with their computer. I remember reading it back in the 90s going, what a horrifying thought. And now look at us. Mark Meets World said there's no way an entire generation suddenly decided they were all transgender or non-binary on their own. Statistically true, transsexuals are 0.05% of the world population. It doesn't add up. There's something more at play here. What are your thoughts? I'd say a whole lot of brainwashing going on. It's a combination of things. Social media made it cool to be trans non-binary. Then you have what society's always deemed to be normal for boys and girls. Girls like pink, make-up dresses, playing with dolls, etc. And boys like blue, playing in the dirt, sports, and cars and trucks, etc. Then you have AGPs who see society being more open to transsexuals, so now they have to leech on as well. On top of it all, you have organisations that have fought for same-sex rights and won them needing a new purpose to bring in donations and stay relevant, so they pick the trans movement. Not a bad answer. Social contagion. Just like any other trend, this one happens to be extremely dangerous. Yep, there you go. Social contagion via the internet. Get your kids off the internet. Dr. Jebra Fauché said this person identifies not as a man but as non-binary. Then was denied entry into the woman's dressing room in Zara. How does this make you feel? I'm glad. Are you glad? I'm glad they were denied entry. Non-binary shopper left dehumanised after denied entry to women's changing room. It's about bloody time. We need more of that. Kobe Thatcher said these companies are supporting the yes vote. Wesfarmers, Woolworths, Coles, the National Australia Bank, the Commonwealth Bank, the ANZ Bank, BHP, Rio Tinto, Qantas. Should we give them the Bud Light treatment? Definitely. Trevor Hughes said Rowan Atkinson says he feels duped by electric cars. The actor who studied an electrical and electronic engineering degree points out that electric cars have emissions during production that are 70% higher than petrol vehicles. You know Mr. Bean? Yeah. Rowan Atkinson. Actor says honeymoon with them is coming to an end, and their day of great environmental benefit has yet to dawn. It's not going to. It's going to get worse. Angry Aussie at Loves Australia said, I agree 100% no to the voice. How about you have a full investigation into where the $35 billion that goes into Aboriginal industry each year ends up? The boss of ASIC was caught out skimming millions from it. Now we want a full investigation into where all this money goes. It certainly doesn't get down to the Aboriginal people in remote communities that need it. No to the voice, yes to investigation into the billions poured into the Aboriginal industry already, without helping them. You goofballs. DOQ said go back a few years and ask yourself if you ever thought you'd see this trending. I can see it happening. I don't need to know this is trending to know this is happening. This is what we're seeing. This is what this is all for. All the news, everything you see. The White House with seemingly cubby houses behind them, tree houses, and weird things in the background, because it's all a show. It's to wake people up. I mean, therefore I am, has said, who is she? Because I love her. Al Amuse said, she is on fire. Okay, who's this lady? Let's have a listen.
Hey, Pumpkin, it's Pride Month. Let's talk about it. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what the fuck y'all are so oppressed about. I don't know what everybody's crying about. I don't know why everyone's so upset. I just don't feel oppressed. I don't remember the last time somebody had something bad to say about me because of my sexual preference, maybe because I don't talk about it. If you haven't noticed, I am a homosexual. I don't feel like I need any rainbow flags, signs, or signals to alert those around me that I am a homosexual. See, I don't make my sexuality part of my personality. As a matter of fact, I like to keep the two completely fucking separate. There's a difference. I depend on my personality to get me places in life, and I don't need anybody to feel bad for me because I eat pussy. I mean, for fuck's sake, we lit up the White House with rainbow colors back when Obama was in office. What more do we need? We can get married. I mean, I see more rainbow flags available for purchase than the red, white, and blue ones that represent our fucking country, but that's none of my business. I did sign up to die for this motherfucker, so it might be my business. See, I'm 40 years old, baby. I actually got discriminated against when I came out of the closet back in 1997. Was that 98? I don't know. I'm old. I forget shit. Nobody baked me a cake, nobody threw me a party, and nobody bought me anything with a rainbow on it when I came out of the closet. It was quite the opposite, actually. That shit built character and showed me who the real ones were, and it showed me who the fake ones were. Here's my opinion. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but I think a lot of you guys are manifesting this shit. Wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my god, I'm so gay, and everyone around me is gonna hate my gayness, and somebody's gonna be mean to me, and then somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so fucking oppressed. See, I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, I'm just another regular fucking human, and I didn't go do regular human shit. None of it involves rainbow flags. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is my pride flag's still red, white, and blue. You can unfollow me if you want to. I don't fucking care. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
I like that. Tell them how it is, you know? Because that's how it is. No one really cares. Your sexuality is not your personality. I don't know why people have to say, I'm such and such and I'm gay or trans or... I mean, I don't go up to people and say, hey, I'm Hev and I'm straight. Who cares? No one does, really. Unless you start shoving it in people's faces and kids' faces, then we care. Malcolm Roberts said, quote, overall, the Antarctic ice shelf area has grown by 5,305 squared kilometres since 2009, with 18 ice shelves retreating and 16 larger shelves growing in a different, well, one side is retreating and one side's growing. Our observations show that Antarctic ice shelves have gained 661 gigatons of ice mass over the past decade. There you go. Antarctic ice shelves are growing. Oh, the Whatever podcast. As we're getting hammered by the New York Post. Okay, Whatever said, isn't the New York Post conservative? Why does the author take quarrel with me retweeting Ben Shapiro? Also, the tweet replies are fire. New York Post said making women look dumb is a disturbing new podcast trend. Well, look, they're young, right? And they're liberals, and They are. They go. A lot of them are studying weird degrees, so a lot of them, not all of them, there's a lot of smart young girls in there. But seriously, even sometimes the older ones are like, oh my God, that's a diversity hire if I've ever seen one. One of them worked for the government. She was blonde, pretty lady, and she was apparently working with the government to stop child trafficking, or, you know, in that part of the government, right? Looking over horrible things all day, every day. And when she spoke, it was like, no wonder we're in trouble. And this was over in the US government. And I thought, well, no wonder we're in trouble with people like that in the government. Unfortunately, it looked like she was a diversity hire because she's a woman. She didn't have much of a brain. Oh, sorry, she did, but it was all left-leaning, and it was all like, that's been disproven, that's been disproven, that's been disproven. I think you might be wrong on that one. Anywho, but a lot of them are just like, and I was saying a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them are absolutely clueless. Okay, seriously. Known guy Warren Mundine said a picture's worth 1,000 words, and this is so true. The Australian Constitution, the Trojan horse, which is the voice, and Albo trying to wheel it in. Don't let him. James Lindsay was right. Why do they keep building these? Why are they a thing? Smoke Away said in June 2022, a quadruped robot learned how to walk directly in the physical world without simulators in just 1 hour. Okay. In 1 hour, I'd be long gone. By the time this thing learned to walk. Sorry, I had to say that. I'm making a joke out of it because this is unreal. Yeah, just keep spinning on it. Look, you just wrap there, spinning on your back, right? And I'll be running the other way. Running, driving, biking, whatever I can find to move on, move with. Jeez, it takes a while, doesn't it? Is this their technology? Like, do they have to spend an hour for every one of these things to get it walking? Or, like, what's going on here? Why? Why even do this? And now look at it. Still kind of... It's like a deer that's just learning to walk or something. What is wrong with it? If this is their technology, we're all right, guys. Sorry, I know it's not. I know there's a lot more to it, but... Susu Lark Pokey. Okay, added to the long list of BS. 1960s, the oil be gone in 10 years. 1970, another ice age in 10 years. 1980s, acid rain will destroy all crops in 10 years. The 1990s, the ozone layer will be gone in 10 years. 2000, ice caps will be gone in 10 years. None happened, but all resulted in more taxes. Beware. Steve Malloy said, not the narrative, a new report, the Antarctic shelf has grown. Clandestine said, when are we going to have a public conversation about Hunter Biden being an incestuous pedophile? This family's in the White House. This is the smartest guy Joe knows. Shit, we're in trouble. This is the guy who owns biolabs and secured DOD funds for coronavirus research in Ukraine before 2019. Oh dear. Is that a little boy or a little girl? Oh dear. I don't know if you've seen that. If you didn't, you can go back and pause it. I'm not showing it again. I don't know how much of this I can show. Oh. A plate of drugs? Oh my God. I'm not going to show you any close-ups. Oh, the laptop. I'm not going to show any close-ups. I don't think I'll show anything at all, but Hunter Biden's laptop was filled with hundreds of pictures of his niece and other underage girls sucking on their fingers, sticking their tongues out in their bathing suits, etc. Let's quickly go. Not only did he keep hundreds of sexualised photos of his under 13-year-old niece, he had his daughter Naomi transport Natalie to come visit him because she isn't getting any stability from home. If Hunter abused her physically, this is trafficking. In addition to the mountains of photos of his underage niece and other underage children, Hunter kept screenshots of Uber trips and Google Map locations. One location he saved is the parking lot behind the playground of an elementary and middle school in LA. What the far out? Cochrane Middle School, West 18th Street, Arlington. Is it Arlington? I don't know. It's Arlington. Can we see more of it? No. Oh dear. Near West Washington Boulevard. Don't know what this street is. West 18th Street. Is that West 18th as well? I don't know. Oh dear. Arlington Heights Elementary. There you go. If you've got your kids anywhere in near there, take them out. I know it's disturbing, but you need to look for yourself. HB is unequivocally a pedo, and the US intelligence community went to extreme Orwellian lengths to cover it up. The same man owns multiple biolabs in Ukraine, by the way. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, whoa. See, there's no way you'd be able to show any of that on YouTube. Okay, but there's a lot there. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to retweet this, so anyone on Twitter, I'm under Hev's backmate. Oh, by the way, I'm on Truth Social as Hev Truthseeker. Okay? I'm on Truth Social. If anyone's on there, hunt me down, please. You know, the good way, not the bad way, right? Living by the Sea said, my son came back from his 12-hour study. He was so angry he found out the Mappers, Maori and Pacific quota has been increased from 28% to 40% out of the 251 places available for medicine at Auckland Uni 2024. They keep this information off their website for some reason. This is what The Voice will do for Australia. Out of the 251 places, nearly half will be made for available for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders and all of that. Not that I have, like, you know, but look, you should be going in on your merit, on what you've achieved, not just because you are who you are. That's ridiculous. This is not just a concern. Oh, look, I wouldn't even make it, right? Honestly. I don't have white privilege. I don't know where it went. I've been looking for it for years. Just can't find the damn thing. Anyway. This is not just a concern for the general students who are missing out with the new Maori authority. It is Maori who will suffer the most. Now, this is New Zealand's voice, right? They're already having trouble, okay? Do not fall for this. Anyway. Malcolm Roberts said, we constantly hear that renewables are the cheapest and the best way to go. If that's the case, why does the Australian Renewable Energy Agency need to commit $2.15 billion in subsidies, grants and loans to prop up renewable projects? Because they don't freaking work. Pardon me, guys. You should see what I got yesterday. I actually got, I'm going to eat it right now. I'm only going to eat a tiny bit. A sponge cake with fresh cream and proper cream, not buttercream. Jam and cream, fresh whipped cream. Okay, now I've got food all over my teeth. Frank Rodriguez said, Happy Pride Month. What's this?
The pride flag, this flag, does not represent me. When you're a conservative gay and you have conservative traditional values, it doesn't represent you. I am tired of this community trying to represent me. and the millions of people that support people like me. And the people in this building are upset because they think that they're being marginalized. Do you see Chinese people in here upset that we're not flying the Chinese flag on Chinese New Year's? No. You see my community, the gay people that want to be marginalized, that make victims of ourselves. This flag that I'm standing on no longer represents me. This is not your fault. I'm not yelling at you. I'm upset because people like this are constantly representing my community. They make us look like fools. They make us look dumb. And I'm tired of it. This flag does not represent everyone. With liberty and justice for all. That flag, this flag, the American flag, 13 stripes and 50 stars represent us. Not this. Not this. And if the gay community would wake up, we wouldn't have this pushback. Stop indoctrinating children, and these types of things wouldn't happen. One more thing. One more thing. Do you know where I can find a trash can?
Well said, mate. Well said. Sorry, I had to eat the rest of the cake now I started. Okay, Avi Yamini said government-funded broadcaster SBS, Australian TV station, suddenly wants you to question the research from the Doherty Institute because now it doesn't suit their narrative with the garlic helping. Okay, electric vehicles are a scam. Let's have a look.
False. President Biden says he wants 50% of new cars to be electric by 2030.
True, but I guess now it's 60%.
True or false? A typical electric car requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a conventional car.
Yes.
If 50% of the cars were electric vehicles today, is there enough power on the electric grid to charge them all?
Absolutely not. No.
You said in your written statement, Mr. Bradbury, I'm going to quote you, if every country in the world achieved its stated EV targets by 2030, the total savings in carbon dioxide emissions would be expected to reduce global temperatures by only 0.0002 degrees Fahrenheit by the year 2100. Given this fact, is it unilaterally gutting the U.S. auto market, critical mineral supply chain, and the grid stability? Is that the solution for addressing the temperature goals?
Well, I don't think so.
True or false? President Biden says he wants...
There you go. It's not doing any... And you can't even charge... Look, this is why they want everyone on electric vehicles, because then you can't charge a car, you can't drive. That's why they want everyone on electric vehicles. Alex Marola said, what do you think of when you think of Florence, Italy? If it's not feral migrants smashing up cars, then unfortunately you're wrong, because that's exactly what it's filled with now, apparently. I'm only going to show a tiny bit of this because 2 Italians come in and... Yeah. Keep watching for a sec. Where is it? He breaks the window. What's wrong with him? Oh, here they come, here they come. Run, mate, run. Whoa. Okay, anyway, they have a go. Well done. Quick Wit Nitwit said, did PDJT just announce what I think he did? World Fairs, Tech Exhibition, Patriot Games, 1776 oh my. Here's some interesting here's some live thoughts and interesting language. Okay, let's have a little listen.
3 years from now, the United States will celebrate the biggest and most important milestone in our country's history. That's why, as a nation, we should be preparing for a most spectacular birthday party. We want to make it the best of all time. Here is my plan to give America's founding. In 1776, the incredible anniversary it truly deserves. On day 1, I will convene a White House task force called Salute to America 250. It will be responsible for coordinating with state and local governments to ensure not just one day of celebration, but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day, to create the Great American State Fair, a unique one-year exhibition featuring pavilions from all 50 states. It'll be something. The Great American State Fair will showcase the glory of every state in the Union, promote pride in our history, and put forth innovative visions for America's future. Great American State Fair and welcome millions and millions of visitors from around the world to the heartland of America for this special one-time festival. These Patriot Games will allow young Americans. Fifth, as president, I will invite the leaders and citizens of nations around the world to visit the United States in honor of our 250th anniversary. It's going to be great. And finally, and most importantly, I will ask America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and our people as we prepare for this momentous occasion. From the very beginning, America has been one nation under God. Thank you.
They did cut it a fair bit. But a World Fair? Is there more? No, okay. And we know. There you go. And we know. There you go. Okay, and did you say found? Found, not refounded? Founded? Very interesting language there. Malcolm Roberts said South Africa supposedly ended apartheid decades ago, yet now has race-based access to water. If the Voice referendum succeeds in changing Australia's constitution into a racist document, this will come to Australia. Keep Australia's laws fair and equal to people of all races and vote no. Applications for mining and related industries regulated by means of MPRDA state and state-owned entities, 100% black-owned, are exempted to comply with sub-regulation 4. The responsible authority may, subject to availability of resources, support black people with water use licence application in line with Section 61 of the Act before a final decision is reached on their applications. Compulsory licensing. A responsible authority shall issue a notice in form of gazette requiring persons to apply for water use licence within 60 days in terms of Section 43 of the Act for one or more types of water uses contemplated in Section 21 of the Act. An applicant applying for a water use licence in terms of Section 43 of the Act will be charged a fee as contemplated in Regulation 17. So you pay an Indigenous fee for your water. Pauline Hanson says, rental crisis. Pauline Hanson's, please explain. Australia's suffering through a housing crisis and people want to know why. But don't hold your breath waiting for answers from Labor or the Coalition, because they're the ones who caused the mess. So tune into this week's episode of Please Explain. Find out why Aussies are being forced to pay a premium for shoe boxes and what we can do to fix it. This is actually funny. Sort of. If I wasn't living through it, it'd be funny.
Oh, hey there, Albo. What have you got there? Oh, this? Oh, this is me pet rat. His name is Chris Bowen. Oh, Babbitt, you scared him off. Now all I've got is this empty shoebox. I guess I better throw it in the bin.
Wait, don't do that. That's prime real estate. Prime real estate? 4 walls, a roof. We should put this on the rental market.
You putting that on the market? Where can I apply?
What are you asking for a week? I'll double it.
I'll pay 3 months up front.
You see, Albo, there's a rental crisis, and this is hot property. Let's get it on the market. Hi, I'm Ralph Babbitt, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to this extraordinary property now available for lease. Where sophistication and minimalism intertwine, you'll find this charming and meticulously designed 1-bedroom studio apartment. Marvel at the epitome of architectural compactness, luxurious and intimate, the ultimate in minimalist living. Enjoy ocean views or city views. And a removable roof provides an abundance of natural light. Alright, let's open the bidding at $1,200 a week with 2 months rent in advance.
$1,250 a week?
4 months up front.
$2,000 a week, 12 months up front.
And leased to the man in the big hat.
Elbow, why is Bowen out of his box? What's going on in here?
Well, we're having an auction for a rental property.
We're just enjoying the fruits of the rental crisis, miss.
This is disgusting, Elbow.
Hey, come on now, miss. How's it my fault?
This is what happens when you have record high demand in a critically undersupplied market. And that's a direct result of your obsession with red tape, environmental levies, tax taxes, immigration, foreign ownership, and your refusal to support Australian-made building materials.
No, this is all happening because of that pesky inflation.
Which you exacerbate with unnecessary spending on stadiums and referendums.
I'm doing that because I care.
You don't care. If you cared about Australians, you wouldn't be allowing over 900,000 more migrants into the country over the next 18 months, adding even more demand for rental properties.
Oh, Miss Senator Hanson, will you stop making sense for once? Fine, I'll take the shoebox off the market. Huh? Where'd the shoebox go? Just back it in here, Robbie. Home sweet home.
And those stadiums they are building are ugly as... They're horrible. They are an eyesore. There's one in Parramatta they built. A new stadium. They took the pools out, the public pools, and built a stadium instead. And it's ugly as... Sorry, it really is ugly. It's all, every time I drive past it, I just go, ooh. Liz Crogan said, shock report, a foster mum who rescued orphans from war-torn Ukraine has gone on trial for torture, abuse and letting pedos pay to attack children in her care. A court in the Polish city of Poznan has heard that Ukrainian Svetlana Playushko regularly assaulted the children, forced them to put soiled nappies in their mouths and eat vomit. Oh my God. The court also heard that Svetlana allegedly abused the 10 children between 4 and 16 and forced them to take drugs before inviting round local pedos who paid to abuse them. Svetlana, who faces up to 15 years in jail if found guilty, said that before Russia's invasion she had been running a foster home in Ukraine for 15 years. String them up. Elon Musk said this was a mistake by many people at Twitter. It's definitely allowed. This is about, what is a woman? Yep. Okay. Because of 2 instances of misgendering, apparently, right? This is what Twitter people did. But this was a mistake by many people at Twitter. It's definitely allowed. Whether or not you agree with using someone's preferred pronouns, not doing so is at most rude and certainly breaks no laws. I should note that I do personally use someone's preferred pronouns, just as I use someone's preferred name simply from the standpoint of good manners. However, for the same reason, I object to rude behaviour, ostracism or threats of violence if the wrong pronoun or name is used. I won't even do that. If someone tells me that they go by pronouns, I will walk away. Sorry. Unless you're a he or a she, right? Pick one. But all this they, them, they've got fey, self now. I don't know. Honestly, seriously. I can't remember that shit, so I'm just gonna walk away. Make it easier for myself. Pauline Hanson said, now that it's been exposed that the $4.5 billion National Indigenous Australia Agency, so it's $4.5 million, was not complying with legislation in managing the risks of provider fraud. It's time for a comprehensive independent audit of the entire Aboriginal industry. There is plenty of historical evidence of corruption and fraud in this Aboriginal industry gravy train. The latest example is a wake-up call as Australians consider their vote in the Voice to Parliament referendum. I've been talking about the need for accountability on this spending for decades. I warned the government about ATSIC corruption 8 years before it was eventually abolished with bipartisan support. Before we're coerced into protecting this gravy train for all time in the Constitution, Australians deserve to know why the gaps aren't being closed despite the billions of dollars thrown at the problem. We need to have confidence in this, that this money isn't being wasted. The entire setup must be audited to make sure. Go Australia. Go Pauline. Go. Travis said, breaking news, Biden's Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland, has ordered a 20-year oil leasing ban around Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. The local Navajo tribe has advocated against this ban, saying it would destroy their community. But Harland, who is a member of a tribe over 100 miles away, ignored their wishes. The decision she made will no longer allow Navajo landowners within a 10-mile buffer zone to sell their own oil. See, this is what look, this is what this voice thing, it's the same kind of thing, right? The tribal, the people who were there, right? But the member of the tribe has actually advocated against this ban of the local tribe. Okay, and one from 100 miles away says, no, it doesn't matter. You can't now those Navajo landowners within a 10-mile buffer zone, they can't go to sell their own oil. This will absolutely destroy the local Navajo tribe. Does anyone care about the families whose future they just ruined? I can see the Voice doing the same thing in Australia. Just digging into this story be sure you're following so you don't miss updates. Yep, why not? And General Mike Flynn said this is among the most grotesque abuses of power ever to be witnessed in the land of the free because of the brave. I thought Nancy Pelosi was long gone, but apparently her ghost still remains. Speaker McCarthy and the GOP should invite these children back to sing the national anthem in front of a joint session of Congress. That said, don't hold your breath. But to this choir, you kids keep singing your hearts out, because watch what happens here. This is disgusting. They were told to stop. It offended someone. Fire every Capitol policeman involved. They work for us because the Capitol Police were the ones who stopped it. Some person in the background was complaining. That's ridiculous. I didn't know which hand. Which hand do you use to put your hand on your... Is it your right hand on the left side of your... I think it is. I don't know. Let me know, someone in the comments. Baron of Burleigh said my friend and his family migrated from India some 20 years ago to escape the horrific, demeaning caste system in the country. Came to see me this afternoon and are very concerned that the Voice will make them an underclass of citizens. They're looking for other country options now. Okay, 3AW Melbourne said the man has until next Monday to hand the number plate back to Vic Roads. Otherwise, his registration will be suspended and then cancelled. Oh, someone... Okay. Someone in Victoria has personalised his number plates with Dan out. Okay, it was deemed inappropriate and now they're after him. How ridiculous. Because he doesn't like Dan Andrews. So now Dan Andrews set the government after this person. And they're going to, what are they going to do? Suspend the registration unless he hands the number plate back. And then they're going to be cancelled. Accounting by Glassnode? Acquainting by Glassnode? Okay. The US tax code, along with its explanation pages, is over 75,000 pages and has nearly 4 million words. Let that sink in. That's your tax code. It's probably ours looks nearly similar. How ridiculous. I could make a tax code on one piece of paper. I reckon. But I don't know because I'm not an accountant. Just saying 10% will be paid, sales tax, that's it. No income tax, no anything. Okay, that's it. Oh, look who's here, James English. Okay. There you go. Anyone defending this old P is what's wrong with the world. He met this young kid at 10 when he was in his 40s, then give him a job, grooming. Ends up in a relationship with him while married, defends his sex case brother. He's a wrong 'un, and I believe more will come out. This is Philip Schofield from the UK. A child he was grooming. Has been for a long time. There you go, James English. I didn't even realise that I'd put here. I don't know if anyone followed all the Sean Atwood stuff and then James English was... Sean Atwood was trying to pull James English into it and fight with him as well. Oh, because he said something about it. Oh my God. Pauline Hanson said, I've been talking about the need for accountability on this spending for decades. I warned the government about ATSIC corruption 8 years before it was eventually abolished with... Okay, well, I did read that. In another post. Okay, DC Drano said nothing to see here, just a text from Pelosi's staff secretly editing the J6 security plan and telling the White House Sergeant-at-Arms to please act surprised when the final draft was published. Translation, Pelosi's staff was directly weakening J6 security and didn't want anyone to know. Okay, thanks Davis. Also wants a briefing. Can we do a joint or do you prefer separate? Either way works. We're making terrace edits to the Electrical College DC, and if you don't mind, I'll send it to you and Jen as a heads up, so please act surprised. And the person says, I'm startled. And now that we have that new Pelosi J6 footage, remember GOP House reps released bombshell reports showing her staff had regular meetings setting up J6 security, revising plans and turned down requests from US CP and House Sergeant-at-Arms for more funding and National Guard. There you go. Okay, 40 Head said, I wonder if Anons understand one very specific reason behind 17's encouragement to research hidden truths. Okay, the board. Okay? All they really did was ask questions and encourage you to research. Bring out FOIA documents, discuss criminal elements in our government, expose corrupt politicians, and speak out against crimes against children. Are you all familiar with how AI is scouring social media with the internet and the internet? Well, by having millions of us flooding the world with long unknown secrets and showing the corruption that has rotted the fabric of our society for decades, we are informing AI, and AI is learning facts that otherwise wouldn't have been exposed to. AI is then using this information to build conversation topics, advertising slogans, and is informing other people about what we are sharing. You may never see the conversations generated. You may never see the product of your research and threads. It may never be revealed to you how many lives are being reached and changed by your efforts. But rest assured, whether it's AI or maybe even just a random person happening across your posts, what you're doing is making a difference. Never give up. Where we go one, we go all. So there you go. And they did. They brought a lot of stuff to the forefront. And all they did was ask questions and make people look for stuff. That's what Q's all about. Julie Donut said, I don't really know who needs to hear this, but the Joe Biden you see on TV and the news is not the real Joe Biden, which we all suspect. Don't think much of what you see and hear is real. America was hijacked a long time ago, and there has been a plan in place and it's been happening for a while now. We're under attack, though. Our border is wide open. We have millions and millions of illegal immigrants invading our beloved country. So many deaths, so many unvetted people being flown and bussed all over America. So many children and adults being trafficked. All that is very real. It's not over yet, and we're still fighting a war that determines all of the world's future, the most important event of our lifetime. The losses and deaths are real. The financial struggles are real. The pain and frustration is real. There are many scared and angry people. We already won. We the people win. It must play out. It's God's war. It's God's vengeance. His timing. Please pray for the unknown soldiers and generals behind Trump and Trump himself. Pray for our country and be grateful we get to be alive to witness the fall of the cabal. The end of slavery is finally here. Amen and amen. Oh no, Il Donaldo Trumpo said, stop it! What's this?
My fellow Americans, these MAGA extremists are now using sandbags to attack us. And these are not regular sandbags. These are racist sandbags. Donald Trump is now using ultra-MAGA extremist sandbags against us. So I'm directing the FBI to arrest him before the 2024 election. Thank you. My fellow Americans, these MAGA extremists are...
It's obviously a deep fake. It's not Biden. It's not even a deep fake because the voice and the mouth, it's not, none of it's matching, okay? So just someone's done that and he's gone, oh, stop it. Okay, and the Greenpeace co-founder, Dr. Patrick Moore, which we've heard of before, has also said that carbon dioxide is not responsible for any of the warming at all. Okay? It's not. Pizza Pepe said the Clintons infiltrated Haiti right after the 2010 earthquake where they trafficked children and got caught. Never forget what Laura Silsby did. It's sad how Google and MSM cover this up. She was trafficking children while working for the Clintons. The explanation Google gives for her serving time in Haiti is dasting. Attached are the emails linking the Clintons to Silsby. Want to know how she got a sentence reduced? Want to know who she is and what she does now? Should we do a thread? Okay. Orphan Rescue Mission. New Life Children's Refuge. The plan rescue orphans from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. There's like a Friday, Saturday, January, NLCR team fly to the DR. Sunday, January 23rd, drive bus from Santo Domingo into Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and gather 100 orphans from the streets and collapsed orphanages, then return to the DR. Monday, January 24th, bus arrives in Cabaret, doctor at New Life Children Refuge. Haiti team Laura Silsby, Carissa Coulter, Carla Thompson, Nicole and Corrine Langford. Paul Thompson's team from the East Side Baptist Church, Twin Falls, provide love and care for the children. What kind of love and care are they talking about? Interim New Life Children Refuge location is in the process of buying land and building an orphanage, school and church in Nagante on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. Given the urgent needs from this earthquake, God has laid upon our hearts the need to go now versus waiting until the permanent facility is built. Oh, so they can just go after kids, you know. Laura Silsby founded New Life and led the expedition in Haiti. What did they say about that down the bottom? Was Laura Silsby convicted of trafficking? She was convicted of arranging illegal travel under 1980 statute restricting movement out of Haiti, signed by then dictator Jean-Claude Duvalier. Release in full, New Life Refuge, purpose. Rescue Haitian orphans abandoned on the streets, makeshift hospitals or from collapsed orphanages. The urgent need, the number of Haitian orphans is estimated to have increased by 300% as a result of the catastrophic earthquake this past week. Thousands of children have lost their parents and are injured, hungry, thirsty, and alone with limited chance of survival without help. Well, they weren't all orphans. They weren't. They were not orphans. A lot of them had parents. Okay. I think I'm going to leave that for another... Hang on, let me just click on this. I'll bookmark that. And I'll go next time on that one. Cost Paul Walker's life. Paul Walker co-founded Reach Out Worldwide in 2010, which is a non-profit that helps bring first responders to the disaster area. Paul was set to come forward to expose the Clinton Foundation's crimes against children in Haiti, which he had discovered through his charity work. There you go. Is there any more? Okay. And pretty much the voice is a takeover of our country, which most of us know. I've been going for an hour and 30 minutes on the news. And now I'll go to the comments. Okay. Hey, James, how you going? Judy, how you going? Brad, how you going? Selena, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Michelle App, how you going? Menacing Muskrat, how you going? It's going to jump on me. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. How far back can I go? Dan Markle Senior, how you going? Joe Q Grant, how you going? Sherry, how you going? Who else we got? Selena, Luna, how you going? I'd gladly go the pillowcases for my house. Selena said, I see Hev thinned down and mod's not a bad idea. She was mod heavy, now I can just listen and enjoy. Yeah, no, it was because the channel got deleted. The other channel got deleted and I only had... I didn't even think I had mods in this channel, but I do. I've got a couple. So, yeah. That's cool. Awesome, Menacing Muskrat. Brad said, copyright it, LMAO. Darren, how you going? Thumbs it up, folks, says Menacing Muskrat. Selena said, that's great, Darren. Darren said, I got it up, Muskrat. Selena said, hey guys, hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications so you don't miss a stream. Yeah, otherwise, well, it's not even guaranteed you'll get the notification anyway. Menacing Muskrat said, lots is happening everywhere. I know, there's a lot coming out. It's really hard to get on top of everything right now. Carl said she's a Republican, not US Republican. She's for Republic of Australia. Okay. And Brad said, keck, yep. Darren said, actually doing good means trying not to let it get to me that what has really gone to crap is going to get worse. Not long. Not long now, I don't think. Brad said it was never a system that cared for it all. And Zal, how you going? Luna said, me, oh, isn't that a beautiful dog? Then that's a cat. Me, look at the pretty cat. Them, that's a dog. Me, isn't his hair cool? Them, that's a girl. Me, isn't her bag awesome? Them, that's a guy. Exactly. I'm not wasting my time on someone who wants to use pronouns and things. I'm just going to say, see ya, thank you, bye. Can't do it. Selena said, when I work for doctors, I'd let the reps cool their heels until the doctor was ready. Yeah, well, it's here in Australia, like they go in first. Doesn't matter if you're sitting there waiting, sick as a dog. They get to go in first. Dan Markle Senior said, Big Mike. Luna said, what the hell is anything anymore? Menacing Muskrat said, that's so cute, Zal, thanks. Brad said, Hev is a gem. Oh, God love ya. Menacing Muskrat said, stay steady all, we're on the home stretch, I can feel it, yeah. Darren said, anything is a pronoun. Brad said, let's see, popcorn. Luna said, Darren, they'll probably change that soon too, lol. Soon we won't even be able to talking without even saying a word, someone will be offended, it's getting ridiculous. Yeah, that's how stupid it is. You don't have to, you have to look at someone now. And that's offensive. Look at them the wrong way. King Snowball said, damn, missed 25 minutes due to ribbing the hell out of over serious Starseed Vegan Love and Light Loon on another channel. Okay. Darren said, you can't say it's getting ridiculous, Luna. Ridiculous people will be offended. Obviously, I say this on their behalf. Oh. And Pat said they all love their Coke. Yeah, that's what I think. Cokeheads. How you going anyway, Pat? Zal said, Lisa Wilkinson needs a real forceful toe in the date. And King Snuggle said he was taking the pee out of the ascending to the fifth dimension loons about, I was cracking one joke after another, they take everything literally. Selena said, fun fact, world is at 0.04% CO2, at 0.02% CO2 all life dies. Exactly. We could do with more of it. Darren said, Captain Proton invaders from the fifth dimension. Pat said they should all be in jail, they're all traitors. Yep. King said, Selena, yeah, I saw that recently, makes you wonder if the levels we are at are responsible for the brain dead majority. Selena said they want to push the climate change narrative to starve us to death. Did you guys catch Kerry's speech a few days ago? No, I missed that one. But I can see what they're trying to do. Yep. Climate change is not going to hurt us. It's the people that believe it that are. Darren said, maybe there's not enough CO2, so the excess oxygen is going to people's heads. Possibly. Selena said, Kerry wants to remove agriculture because of the CO2. Okay, yeah. Well, without CO2, the trees aren't giving us oxygen. We need it. We need them to take it in, and they give us oxygen to breathe. Zal said, yeah, climate change. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, exactly. Darren said, yes, Selena, Oh, where'd that go? They are proudly telling us they are reducing our capacity to produce food. A lot of dumb people out there. Yep, that's why I'm growing my own. And I have chickens who give me eggs every day, and a turkey that, if I get desperate enough, he's getting fatter. I might end up eating him, if he's not careful. Oh, I also got a new chair. This was my son's old gaming chair. It's a bloody good chair too, by the way. It's much taller, better headrest than mine, so I gave mine to my daughter. So you see, things just get handed around. Recycled, if you will. Okay, King said, Darren, extra oxygen is good for the brain and thinking. I'm sure it's the mRNA Kool-Aid they've been guzzling. Shannon said, g'day from the Riverland, South Australia. How you going, Shannon? Menacing Muskrat said, remember birth pains, Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and they've been speeding up since September 23rd, 2017, Revelation 12 sign. Selena said, if they impeach Biden, they'll have to impeach Cackles as well. Yep, let's hope they do. I want them all to be impeached. Shannon said, oi, King, I thought we were ribbing exclusive. Zal said, g'day, Shannon, oi, oi. Menacing Muskrat said, hello, Shannon Spear, how's Socks? Shannon said, she's good, she has the zombies at the minute. Oh, the zombies at the minute? Zoomies. Is that what you're trying to say, Shannon? She's zooming around like, I don't know. King Snowball said, Shannon, I don't know anyone exclusive is ribbing the latest Aussie slang for groping strange women. If so, us English guys aren't into that. Darren said, every politician that goes along with net zero should be tried for crimes against humanity and conspiring to commit genocide. Not only that, the people who've just done what we've just been through for the last 3 years, they all need to be. Bill Gates, one of them, at least. Right? And Fauci, and the Australian ones, and the media, and all of them. They're going to need an army to arrest them all at once. The army. It's coming. Because you know what else happens when your courts don't uphold justice of the law, right? Then military tribunals may need to be used. Just letting you know. Okay, Shannon said, no, you are confused. That's ribbing. Ribbing is teasing each other. Oh, dear God. Darren said, kitten zoomies are cute. Full-grown hunter tomcat zoomies get a bit hairy. They do, actually. Mine goes nuts and you just go, right, stay out the way. When he does, you know, from the room to room, and he might get a lid of a can of something, you know, and he's swatting it around the house and flying around after it. And, King Snowball said, Darren, we haven't seen any king's heads come off lately. That would be good to watch. Darren said, as long as you keep your head, King. Darren said, has anyone heard 81 million votes? My ass. Exactly. 81 million votes. Jesus. As if. You know who got 81 million votes? Mr. T did, I betcha. They just swapped it around. Took it. King Snowball said, come on, Shannon, I just fed you a beauty to work with. King said, Darren, I already put my head in a potential noose. At the moment I started talking about certain things openly, more likely to see me swinging. Luna said, I think I need a scotch on the rocks. Yeah. I've only got my cup of tea, so. God help me. God give me strength, please. Selena said, by the way, it was used to be Gorky 400. He changed and updated his books. That's what I thought. It was Gorky or the Gorski, you know, because I remember back in the 90s, I was reading this. I read The Eyes of Darkness, and it was a Russian thing at that time. I swear to you. King Snowball said, another great one for you to work with, Shannon. Selena said, by the way, it was used... Oh, yep, I did read that. Shannon said, like a minor, I say... Okay, Shannon. Darren said, it's easier to drink in a glass, Luna. Zal said, not going to matter soon when the shift happens within months. None of this will be of any significance. Hey, Huggan and Munnin, how you going? Lost my YouTube account more than a year ago and I've just found you back. I've been searching Hev123 and couldn't find you. Yeah, I've been deleted twice. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, so I'm back. As Al said, Will. King Snowball said, and you know what? I've noticed a difference. This channel doesn't get hit anywhere near the... Oh. You can see what they're doing when you start a new one with a new email. I'll tell you that much right now. I can tell the big difference. My subs are flying up at the moment. Even the views are nearly on par with having 3,000 subs. And I've got 700 and something. King Snuggle said, Shannon, I hope you know some female miners then. Oh, okay. You guys are talking dirty. Okay. Luna said, Darren, and laughing. Shannon said, yep, you could... I had to read that first, so I wasn't reading something rude there. Yep, you could own 10 V8 Chevys before it makes the waste of 1 Tesla. There you go. Zal said, my Aboriginal elders think the voice is a great idea. Oh, no, really? Do they know it's not going to benefit them at all? But in the city elites? Zal said it's all smoke and mirrors to distract. King Snowball said, Zal, did Gates manage to genetically modify all the toads they were licking on his last visit? Shannon said, I'm married with children and we both do shift work. What's sex life? Lol, not all of us can visit other dimensions at will, King. Selena said, look up lithium mining and lithium leach fields. The components for EV cause more destruction to the environment when created than will ever be saved by driving. Go back to the old combustion engines. The ones that the men could fix. They knew what they were doing with them and then they made them all electrical and computerized. Now no one knows. Except the mechanic. It's the same with everything. Everything was made to break now and just be useless, seriously. Nothing lasts long. You used to buy a washing machine that'd last you 50 to 100 years, mate. Because you just get the parts fixed and, you know, you get it fixed and you get parts and things like that. Now it's cheaper to buy a new washing machine than it is to get it repaired. It's nearly the same as a car. For God's sake. I swear, honestly, everything is useless. Because they want you to keep buying. We used to call it cyclical consumption. They make things to break because they want you to keep buying things. Oh, they're not buying toasters quick enough. Quick, have an electrical fault with them so they break within under a year. It's been 3 years here. I've been through 2 kettles. Dear me. And even phones, okay? Mobile phones. iPhone, didn't they make the old iPhone batteries wear down very quickly because they want you to buy a new one? Everything's so ridiculous. Okay. Sal said, don't know, but my elder told me yesterday the magpies and crows have worked out how to kill them and eat the only organ in its body with no poison in it. There's pretty much no cane toad problem these days. Oh, well done. Shannon said, Trump is correct. The earth is cooling. Global warming is a scam. Yep. King Snowball said, Shannon, that bit's just tiring. I'm glad it's now their turn to come here, considering they can decide to look like anyone. Anything, the potential for incursions is looking up for everyone. Darren said, these will always be changes in the ice because our pole wobbles over time. Zal said, I would say have those women on that whatever podcast are the ones making fools of themselves. The host appears to be very objective and constructive in the discussion topics. He is, and he's very patient with them. I'm telling you. If I was on there, I wouldn't be so patient, see? I'd love to go on there. I don't care what people say about me, but I'd rip them a new one. No, they couldn't have me on because I'm just, yeah, no. No, I'd probably get them kicked off. But you're right, Sal. They're making fools of themselves. They say they're like something and then within another sentence it's something else and I don't know. Hard to keep up with. Shannon said robots get itchy as well. Darren said, well, so we've been in a near circular orbit phase. Things will cool as our orbit becomes elliptical again, another regular cycle. Hey, Deb, how you going? Zal said, that robot looks like my poodle having a roll on the nature strip. Like if they release those things and they had to learn to stand up and walk, we'd be gone. And how many of these are they going to do it with? Each one takes an hour. How many rooms have they got? How many of these things can they get out there quickly? I don't know. King Snowball said, I'm sure that one you bought from eBay secondhand does that, Shannon. Shannon said, soon it'll be dragging its charging port across the carpet like it has worms. Oh, no. Darren said, oh, I forgot about acid rain. Everyone's scared of getting green hair. How ridiculous. Luna said, hi, Dan. Shannon said, I personally wait for acid rain to get rid of that layer of icky dead skin, lol. King said, Shannon, is that what you do with your eBay robot? Charge its port? No wonder it's itching. Oh, you guys. Oh, dear. Shannon said, hey, Deb, in the absence of the other Deb, time and weather report plus your moistness level. Oh, no, Shannon. You could put that another way. The level of moistness in your area. No, that still sounds bad. Oh, no. Precipitation. Darren said, just as people were getting into collecting rainwater, the acid rain scam came along and put them off the idea. Yeah, in the 90s I was drinking rainwater because we had rain tanks, water tanks. We were living on property. Shannon said that joke was a real shocker, King. Menacing Oscar said, hi, I'm back, feeling good. Excellent. Selena said, welcome back, Menacing. Hey, Timmy, how you going? Oh, by the way, Timmy, you know what? Going through Streamlabs, I get the money straight away. That's amazing. Going through Stripe, I get it about 4 days later, but the Streamlabs, so it looks like Streamlabs is the best donation tool. But either one's fine. And I did thank Selena. Sorry. Who? Not Selena, sorry. Who was it? It was Sherry for the coffees. So, yeah. So, Timmy, because I was reading you a little testing both Stripe and Streamlabs. And yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that Streamlabs is instant. Okay? Menacing, and it comes up on the screen as well, so you get a little notification, and it's I can't believe it. Okay, anyway. Menacing Muskrat said, Timmy, hello, how you doing? Menacing Muskrat said, thank you, Selena, I was covered in dirt. Oh, really? What were you doing, digging in the dirt? King Snowball said, Darren, acid rain and turning hair green went from a libtard screaming point to a virtue signalling necessity on top of their heads. Yeah, now they have green hair. Have they all been standing out in acid rain somewhere? Shannon said, and then they can take control of the car and Clinton side you. Yeah. What do you think of Biden sided? Does it sound right? It does to me. Selena said, Menacing Muskrat, we all misbehaved while you were away from keyboard. Well, okay, not really, but glad you're back. And Pat said, we want all politicians to be electrocuted by 2024. Well said, Pat. King Snowball said, Shannon, I would have thought that was a major part of what you were after, some sort of feeling in your aging extremities. Menacing Muskrat said, one burp from a volcano is the equivalent to decades of human-caused yeah, exactly. Pollutants. Yeah. One burp from a volcano will equal everything we've ever done, nearly. Menacing Muskrat said, Selena, when the cat's away, the mice will play and it's a beautiful day. Shannon said, Zap, I was wondering why I was so enamoured with my bug Zap. I thought it was just the purple light. Selena said, Menacing Muskrat, well, glad you are clean now. I hate getting dirt on me sometimes. I don't mind, but when I come inside the house, I like the dirt to be gone. So I don't mind getting dirty and playing in the dirt, but Yeah, when I come in, I want it gone, so I'd have to shower straight away. It's like when I mow the lawn. I've got to come back in because you've got grass all over you. You've got dirt up your nose. Have you ever blown your nose after you've mowed a lawn? You've got dirt and grass up there, mate. Anyway, maybe too much information. Oh, dear. Sal said, those people explain cartoons are really good. King Snuggle said, or maybe the proliferation of the insect-sized... Okay. Genitalia was the attraction. I don't know. Menacing Muskrat said, I don't even know what that means. Menacing Muskrat said, planted my garden and moved the driveway lawn. Picking up horse poop, you'll need a shower because husband will say. Definitely. Sal said, so what are they going to do? Import 715,000 immigrants over the next year? Something like that. Instant voter base, exactly. And you know, in democracy, mob rules. So if they can import more people than what are here, what have you got? No loyalty to anything. God help us. Okay. Menacing Muskrat said, update in China, they are trying to ban fishing. Go fishing. You know what I'd do? I'd get everyone you know to go fishing. Sal said, Parramatta Stadium looks like a bunch of shipping containers stuck around its bay. It's awful. It is the biggest eyesore. Next time I go past, I'll try and take a photo of it so I can show you guys. It's an eyesore. What was there was trees and some pools, and it was beautiful. And now there's this monstrosity that's just a... King said, Zal, they have to match the numbers of young military-age immigrants with the number of guns they have and weapons stashed everywhere. Zal said, exactly, King. I see the Chinese-owned warehouses where I live, plenty of unmarked boxes, etc., no signs on the property, etc. Selena said, just use their name, whatever name they want to go by, drop all pronouns. Yeah. That's easier. Just tell me your name. I don't need to know your pronouns, just tell me your name, and I'll refer to you as your name. Easy. King Snowball said, Zal, if you doubt the last statement, go look at the artwork on the Rapechild's latest racing yacht. Oh, really? Zal said, my pronoun is handsome genius. Oh. Yeah, my pronoun is expert. Okay, right? I'm an expert on nothing. But hey, my pronoun will make me one. Because that's how we are now. It's our pronouns that we live by. King Snuggle said, my pronouns for the gender bender agenda is you start your nonsense, I'm out of here. It's much easier not to deal with it. Menacing Muskrat said, King, the art show in France was disgusting, it's everywhere. Darren said, Selena, so Darren should refer to Selena as Selena whenever Darren needs to mention Selena. Hey? King Snowball said, Menacing Muskrat was that by the artist showing naked African tribal looking men hunting down white women with spears and other weapons? Oh, no. Menacing said, no, it was a different art show, pure perversion, absolutely sickening. King Snowball said, Menacing Muskrat involving kids, and Menacing Muskrat said, yes. Oh, no. Darren said, your heart is centre left, so use your right hand. Okay, so it's that way. Thank you. Thank you very much, Darren. Sal said, what law are they citing to suspend the guy's rego? I have no idea. Oh, if I were him, I'd fight it. Shannon said, what do you have when you have a cricket ball in your left hand and a cricket ball in your right hand? A very large and possibly horny cricket. Oh, dear God, Shannon. Oh, no. King said, Menacing Muskrat, humanity is being judged for letting that continue. Needs to be stopped, isn't going to stop on its own. Menacing Muskrat said, right hand is over the heart. Thank you. Yeah, because your heart's on more to your left side, so I was thinking it would be that one. And then I wasn't sure. So, thank you. Excellent. Next time I can do it properly then. You've got to invite me to America. Like, what's that thing fair he's going to have? Can I come? Can I come? Please. I'm scared of heights, but I'll fly there just to see America. Like, I'm terrified of heights, but I would fly there just to see America. Unless I can go underground and on some sort of rail. Can I do that, actually? Do we have a high-speed rail going underground that can get me there in 45 minutes to an hour? That'd be even better. Okay. King said, Shannon, I'm guessing your bug zapper kills the flies but only stuns the crickets, leaving plenty of friends for you to entertain yourself with. Zal said, these sickos don't see anything wrong with their actions and conduct. Menacing Muskrat said, Matthew 18:6, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck and he would drown in the depths of the sea. Exactly. King Snurgle said, Zal, I know Shannon Spear and myself are beyond all hope, aren't we? And Zal said, haha, yes. Shannon said, or immune to the system's bullshit programming. Hang on, where did that go? It jumped again. God, how far did it jump? Oh, there you go. Menacing said, Shannon, you try out my electric fence, horses, dog, and visitor don't stand a chance. Shannon said, sandbag or a salt bag. Menacing Muskrat said, Killery's brother also headed the gold mines. Oh, there you go, see? Shannon said, and probably caused the earthquake as well. They have the technology. I was going to say that during that. They do have technology that can cause earthquakes. King Snurgle said, Shannon, I'm back at it on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going into military default mode and everything's just something to laugh about now. Darren said, Muskrat, you have electric horses? That is very good at fencing dogs and visitors. No electric fences. King Snurgle said, they call it gallows humour. I've realised everybody needs to go into this mode and treat all governments and authority bodies this way. Time to just laugh at everything they suggest and ignore it. I've been doing that for ages. Sal said, get the harpic ready, Hev. Menacing Muskrat said, Darren works great on bears too. Shannon said, I'm here to help you laugh, King. Laugh in the face of evil, mock them to death. They can't take it. Darren said, nudists identify as bear. Shannon said, probably why the programming at school didn't work, because I was always thinking out of the box and cracking jokes. Pat said, still going, thanks, Hev. King said, Shannon, I tend to switch from dealing with pretty serious stuff or just kicking my heels, filling in time. Up to now, I've decided to get the balance right going forward. I'm going to be seriously joking all the way from here on in. Shannon said, looks like you're being attacked by a creature from the ice planet Hoth in Star Wars. Maybe you could cut the chair open, crawl inside to stay warm. Lol, deep cuts there. It's a huge chair. I'm tiny in this big head. And even my feet can barely touch the floor. It lifts a lot higher than my other chair did, which is a good thing because I'm not sitting down here. I'm actually up here. Okay. King said, Shannon, all the attacking going on is from the seriously entitled idiots running everything against those they are supposed to serve. They completely forgot. Noblesse oblige. Menacing Muskrat said, help out and stripe, thank you. Yeah, the Streamlabs is the better one. Who knew? Darren said, 81 million votes my ass is a Curry Lake song on YouTube. Really? Shannon said, I'm being targeted by Hevs. She's profiling my comments. King Snurgle said, Shannon, with a high position comes huge responsibility for everything they think they can lord over. I've been reminding some very important people of this. It ruffled feathers. And I have a splinter in my finger from handling the wood for the fireplace. Darren said, Hev's scared of you, Shannon. No, I'm just scared of reading the wrong comment. Because it can be rude sometimes. So I'm like, do I read that one or not? Oh, that really hurt. Shannon said, you stole that line from Spider-Man, King. Shannon said, built-in obsolescence. King said, old entrenched ways just don't work suddenly in very different situations. They adapt very poorly and pathetically. Slowly, I became a problem that would have been easier to remove. Not anymore. Darren said, that's why the battery is integrated in the phone now. If you could change the battery, they wouldn't sell many new phones. Exactly. It's just a wasteful system. The whole thing's wasteful. Menacing Muskrat said, but you need a computer or AI to diagnose your vehicle. Crazy. Exactly. The old combustion engines, look, every guy I knew in the 80s was working on their car. And they knew how to do it. And they would replace the engines, and they'd replace, you know, not just bits and pieces. Someone actually went to Hemi and got a bloody reconditioned motor for a Chrysler Centura that I drove. That was a mad car. 245, the 265, that's it. 265. Manual with a really heavy clutch, and when you took off at a set of lights, your back out, your ass would fling out. Seriously. Not the real, you know, the back ass of the car I'm talking about, not your. But the whole thing had you know, every time I took off. Okay. Where was I up to? King Snuggle said, Shannon, I think you will find Spidey writers stole it all from medieval Britain. Shannon said they can't create, only copy and invert and twist. Shannon says, 'tis but a scratch. Shannon said, Hev, you're so filthy you have to drag everything into the gutter. That's not me. I'm reading it, and I'm sure other people are thinking the same thing. Sometimes my mind does go to the gutter, though. With things even I say, I think that could be taken a couple of ways. That could be. And Menacing Muskrat said, buy me a coffee as well. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the buy me a coffee things. King Snowball said, Shannon, which reminds me, where is Debs? Timo said, Streamlabs it is then. Instant gratification takes entirely too long for me. I hate waiting 4 days. Yeah, it's amazing. I just can't believe the difference. Because when I had Streamlabs before, it was connected to my card, my credit card, and I'd have to wait 4 days for that. But now it's connected through a PayPal account, and it goes straight in. I'm like, what's happening here? What the hell is going on? But it's good, yeah. So, yeah, definitely. Menacing Muskrat's got Mama Rumble, thank you. And Telegram, Hev Truthseeker. Menacing Muskrat, are you on Truth Social? I've got it on my phone, but I haven't done it on my computer yet. Okay, by next live stream, I will be sharing my Truth Social as well. How's that? What am I moving? Oh, the arm of the chair moves. Shannon said, vigorously massaging some costumer with her full smile beaming and her brow becoming moist with her Shannon? Shannon said, 10:58 a.m. not moist. It's a little bit moist here. Could get moist. As in precipitation. King said, Shannon, your imagination needs an oil change. I was thinking more of her humour. Pat said, Shannon, what about chin nuts? Shannon said, like Peter Griffin. Are these just all going, are these jokes that are going over my head? Like, King Snuggle said, Pat, I think that would be more of a subject for the gender confused. Shannon is more vigorously investigating his interests in something else at the moment. Okay, I'm not going to... Shannon said, that reminds me, how do you circumcise a lefty? Kick your sister in the chin. Oh dear. Luna said, my phone just blew, had to go get my laptop. Oh, really? Shannon said, hey, King, try locking your wife. Oh, no, don't do that. Then do the same to your dog and see which one really loves you. Oh, no, your wife would be fuming, and the dog, of course, loves you anyway. Menacing Muskrat said, latest intel says something is happening between June 4-11, so stock up, cash up, fuel up, H2O, most importantly, repent and prepare. I've got nothing. I've got nothing right now. If it happens now, I'm stuck. I'm stuck until all this shit comes in. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh, it's good to know, though. Yeah, stock up, cash up, fuel up, H2O2, most importantly, repent, prepare, amen. I'll be drinking rainwater. King said, Shannon, I have to tell mine to quit barking at me for more than... Quit barking at me more than all of my 6 dogs put together. Locking her in the boot would just be quickly forgotten about, and I'd end up with the corpse on my hand. Oh, dear. Don't ever do that. Seriously, someone like me, I would panic because I would think, even if you were my partner, I'd be thinking, what the fuck's going on? What's he going to do to me? Lock me in a boot for an hour? Like, come on. The dog doesn't know to think that way. See, it's experiences in life that might put you in a frame of mind to be going, oh, what the fuck? I'm serious. Okay. King Snurgle said, I'd have to swap some dogs for pigs to dispose of it. Oh. Love my dogs far too much for that. With this rate of my wife empties the fridge, I could say 1 pig in the larder is expensive. And oh, King, don't talk about your wife like that. King, come on. Shouldn't talk about your missus like that. Shannon said, so you're saying you're the more aggressive partner in your necrophilic preclusions. It never lasts, though. The relationship always festers and decays and ends up slipping through your fingers. Darren says, lol, Hev just remembering why she was pre-reading Shannon's messages. I have to be careful. Even King Snurgle now. Like, seriously. I've got to be careful. Otherwise, they'll have me reading something that could get me deleted again. It'll be my own fault for reading it, see? Well, it won't be their fault for saying it. It'll be my fault for reading it. And Shannon said I could always eat socks. No, don't do that. No, Shannon. No. King said my comment got frozen out. I'll try rewording it. Yeah, because I'm on live chat. I'm not on top chat, so it should be giving me all your comments. He said, King said, Shannon, that Hicks, the lefties, decided there were no more sisters, mothers, aunties. Everyone has testes and large chests now, even when they don't. Yeah, I get you. Yep. Anyone can be anything they want to now. Well, then I identify as a red Ferrari. Good luck to me. Okay, guys. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. I will be back as soon as possible. I don't know when, because I'm babysitting sometime this week. Just not sure which day. I'm going down the mountain. Shannon said she gives you the cold shoulder, so now the freezer is always... Oh, guys. Okay, guys, much love. I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, if I can click on the outro. See ya.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and where I'll go in life, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes, and ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.